Hi guys. So yes, I made myself pretty today. um anyway, this video today is a bit of a special one. When it was my birthday, I explained that I was a Jehovah's Witness growing up, and I had a lot of people comment saying they didn't know certain things that I'd said, or I had other fellow Jehovah's Witnesses comment as well, which felt really good because I don't know any ex Jehovah's Witnesses other than myself and my brother, but he does not like to talk about our past. Anyway, I thought I'd make another video, since that was about my birthday. I thought I'd make another video today about how Jehovah's Witnesses celebrate Halloween, or at least how our family celebrated Halloween, or the non-celebration of it, I should say, and what it's like for a child growing up. Guys, I'm recording the video! And what it's like growing up as a child, Jehovah's Witness, during the holidays. So I thought I might try and do this at each of the holidays to let you know what we did and what I assume a lot of other people did as well. I have seen other people on YouTube who have discussed their experiences, and it's always so uncanny how similar our experiences are all over the world. So I'm going to start with me and my Halloween experiences. Anyway, so Halloween is, to Jehovah's Witnesses standards, it is all superstitious, to do with witches and evil and the devil and demons and things like that. So they're absolutely terrified of Halloween. Jehovah's Witnesses don't necessarily believe in ghosts and stuff. All those things they kind of do believe in, but they don't believe in them as the words we give them, like ghosts or werewolves and stuff like that. They believe all that kind of stuff is real, but it's all just demons trying to get you. So Halloween's a terrible night for that, because anyone who's celebrating it is kind of inviting that kind of bad juju in, I guess. So at school, I'll start with the beginning of the day, I guess. Any holiday, Jehovah's Witnesses, is just another day. You just have to ignore it. And if you're a kid, it can be pretty hard. Things like Christmas and Halloween, where there's all decorations and music and stuff everywhere, you learn not to mention what you see. So if you see something really cool or spooky and you want to say, you learn not to, because as soon as you say something, you know a parent is going to say to you a long old lecture as to why it's wrong, and you already know all that. So you just learn to keep it in, not mention it. And then you go to school, and there's normally some kind of activities going on, usually throughout the week, which makes it extra worse. So if they're colouring in pictures or telling scary stories or gutting pumpkins or anything like that, as soon as the activity is started, your parents have already told your school that you're a Jehovah's Witness, and anything to do with holidays you have to not participate in. So for me, I would go to my class, and almost immediately they would say what the class was going to be, and it was going to be a fun Halloween class of some sort. And they'd say, Rianne, you need to leave. And then another teacher would come, take me and put me in the library, usually on your own or with other Jehovah's Witness kids. There were a few in my school. They were all in my own congregation as well. And we just have to read books. It was really boring. Yeah, and you just end up reading books. I remember the book I used to like was the anatomy book. And it would, just show you all the human body parts of men and women and things like that. I was really into that stuff as a kid. I remember having a little book that went through all the stages of pregnancy, and I used to hide that at home. I used to love that book. But I remember one day that book was gone, and it was because one of us had told another kid in class that's what we do, because you come back to class afterwards and the other kids say, where did you go, what did you do? We didn't do anything fun. They did way more fun stuff than we did. But someone obviously said that we'd look at these books, and so they told a teacher, and so those books got removed so that we couldn't look at them. So the only fun thing we could do during these times was removed as well. So that sucked. And we're always it happens in front of everyone. So it's kind of humiliating to be removed from a class, because everyone knows why you're weird. And then home time will come, and there'll be all these Halloween things on TV. Sometimes I'll be lucky, I was quite lucky that Mum let me watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and they'd always play the Halloween episodes, and I used to like those. And pretty much that's how I learned about any holiday, was just through what I could grasp through TV. There's a lot of things I wasn't allowed to watch. Even ScoobyDoo I wasn't allowed to watch because of the whole ghost aspect of it. But then I grew up, I was like 14 and I watched first ScoobyDoo ever with my friend. I think I was actually 15. I watched that one where like there's a bunch of witches and they sing. It's really cool. I loved it. But then I started watching ScoobyDoo a bit more as a teenager, and I realized that there was never ghosts in it. It was always like a man in a mask, and it was always like ridiculous. I never got to watch ScoobyDoo as a kid. But anyway, getting off on tangent. Yes, there'd be all these things on TV, and depending on what there was, your mum would say, no, you can't watch that. It's too bad. But eventually, what would happen is trick-or-treaters would come. And of course, we never went trick-or-treating. I've never gone trick-or-treating as a child. I've only ever been as an adult with other people's kids. So I've never really had that experience of being a kid and getting to knock on the door and get treats and come home and see my bounty. I've never had that for myself. I do enjoy watching my girls have that experience though. It's really fun. But this year, we're not going to be doing that due to La Rona. But yeah, when the trick-or-treaters would come around, we'd start hearing them, and that would be the moment that mum would turn all the lights off on the front of the house. So on the street side where people could see if you were home, all those lights would be off, and we'd all hustle back into the kitchen or the middle room where you couldn't see from the outside that there was lights on, and we'd just play like card games around the table. We had to be really quiet and not move around a lot because mum was really worried that we'd get egged, and we weren't supposed to take part. I remember one year I asked mum, can't I just like chuck some water out the window at them or something? Can't I give them a trick? Like, and it was only when I was like 20, I think, I realized that's not how it works. I don't understand Halloween in trick-or-treating sense. I always thought kids ask at your door, trick or treat, and then the homeowner is supposed to give you a trick or a treat. And I always like the idea of like shooting them through the letterbox with water pistols or something, but no, apparently not. They're asking you if you want a trick or treat as a homeowner, and if you don't give them a treat, they're gonna give you a trick. And I'm like, that makes no sense, it's so stupid. I like my way better. The way I imagined as a kid. But yeah, that's not how it works. So yeah, we're just like all huddle up until it was all quiet outside, and then we could go back to doing our usual thing. So Halloween was very uneventful. You're gonna find that throughout all of these holiday videos. I'm gonna explain to you what we did and how unusual and abnormal that is, and you're gonna find it's just really boring and anticlimactic, and Jehovah's Witnesses find a way of sucking the joy out of everything, especially for children. And something that I'm really bitter about is you can't get those years back. I can't ever go trick-or-treating as a child. I can never wake up on Christmas morning and see all the presents and have that experience, you know. I'll never lose a tooth and wonder if a tooth fairy is going to come like Ruda's had. I can never get those experiences back. All I can do is like kind of relive them for my kids, which makes me feel kind of, well, not relive, I just live them for the first, but like I've never had that experience. So that does kind of make me feel a bit sad because I never had that. But as a result, I have all these freaky stories that I do intend to get round to telling you guys all about, because I do have PTSD, I do have anxiety and depression, and I want to talk about all these things, but the things that cause them are so many and so varied, and also I have to put content warnings, and I also don't know how to start. So much is intermingled and I just don't know where to start. So if you guys have any questions about anything, that might be a good way for me to start thinking, oh, I can make a video about this, and start easing my way into telling you basically my life story, because I could not do it in one video. Literally my life has been one trauma after another. So yeah, I will get to it, but this is a start, I guess. And I'll see you next time. If you like this video and you'd like to see more about the ins and outs of a Jehovah's Witness child, subscribe and ring that bell, and I'll get back to you on the next one. Christmas is coming up and bonfire night, so yeah, come check that out, and I'll see you soon. Bye.